Today is an amazing groundbreaking day for us here at Foundations for Farming. We're just embarking on our commercial moringa project. Today the pigs go in and we start eating the elephant for the first time.
So we have been planning this project for a few months, and today that's our first day now to take an action on the field. I promise you, it's a hard work, but we are trying to work very hard so that we get this project going.
All right, so we've got a 1 hectare field here, 74 meters across in this direction, and it goes down about 140 meters in that direction, giving us exactly a 1 hectare field. So this is where we will be doing our moringa, and then at the far end there is where we will hopefully build our shed, where we'll do our processing and packing and everything in the near future.
I'm coming from Israel. I live in Tel Aviv, and I've come out here. Really, the big picture is to link Israeli technology and agriculture and water with Africa. I've been involved with Foundations for Farming for I guess the last 8 years, but more specifically the last year and a half. I've been working with cell phones and farmers, and working with a team here that what we're doing is trying to help farmers communicate with each other using their phones, using their own simple phones, not some fancy device that they have to spend $100 to get. And just been working at different solutions over the last year, specifically looking at how farmers are growing, keeping track of what they're doing with their fields. Are they doing conservation agriculture? Are they not? Have they received training? Have they not? Just keeping track of what's happening on the ground using the phones. And then in addition to that, I've been really interested in trying to work with the local markets and trying to link in the markets into the farmers so that they can actually sell their produce, get a good price, that kind of a thing. So that's what I've been doing the last 2 months, and it's been great. So yeah.
We've just had a really special time with our new friends from Kanyemba. These were a group of people, 33 of them in fact, came all the way. It's from right in the northeast of the country, 12-hour combi ride. A lot of them had never been in a combi before, and to come to Harare was quite an adventure for them. And so we had a wonderful time with them, being able to minister to them and introduce them to the things of the Lord.
During these 2 weeks, these people from Kanyemba, they've learned a lot. There is a great change, or a positive change, spiritually and physically. For example, spiritually, 20 of these people give their life to God, of which is good before the Lord. They've learned how to use toilets, and also they've learned how to do their land preparation, compost making, even alpha course, and also how to look after their families well. It's like our team were able to give these guys the training, especially practicals and activities, because most of these guys, they are not able to read and write. So to them it was so powerful. This group was quite different from the other groups because they were not used to the facilities that we have, but we managed to teach them how to use them.
When they arrived, they had their supper, and we had to take them to the cottages. It was difficult to get them inside because it was something new, and it was a new experience as well to them. I was like, Lord, I don't know what to do, and I don't know what can I do best to be able to accommodate them in our cottages. And just looking at them, oh my, I just say, this time I'm not working, but I'm saving. Most of the men were to take them from outside to force them to be inside. So we had to ask the pastor to go and fetch them to drag them inside the house. And I was like, oh my. And tomorrow morning, I went when they were having breakfast and asked them how did they sleep and all that. And they said we sleep well, but just looking at their facial expressions and all that, they were kind of like, we are trying to get used to this whole thing that you have shown us.
We thought to give them audio Bibles, but we realized that it will be a challenge. Most of these guys, they want to break it and see what's inside there. But we believe that in each and every household or family, there is one person who is able to read the Bible. Even the pastors. For example, if I go to Kanyemba, I can easily say anyone with a Bible, they can easily produce the Bible, and then we can read. But for those audio ones, really, some of the guys, they want to break it and see what's inside there. And it's difficult for them to look after them. But for the pastors, I think that's better because they are able to look after those things.
We were so blessed ourselves. They felt that the world looked down upon them, but at the end of it, I felt myself looking up at them. These are God's precious people. And what a privilege for God to have chosen us to minister to such a group of people. Because what makes you a giant is not your strength, but your humility. You see, Jesus came to serve, not to rule over people. And I see Jesus' Spirit in you. The Bible says the meek will inherit the earth.
Amen.
So don't ever feel that you're looked down on. We look up to you because you've got the humility of Jesus inside you. More powerful than any other. I was privileged enough to be invited by Chuck to go down to the Christian Economic Forum in Durban. This is a wonderful event. It's where Christian entrepreneurs and businessmen get together and they discuss economics of the world. And I found myself really being challenged, and I just loved meeting the people. I thought it was an awesome time of men and women getting together in the Spirit of God to discuss practical applications of the world's economics. I was very privileged to be able to share at the conference, and the conference theme was Africa, a Hope and a Future. And I was able to bring our perspective from Foundations for Farming that the hope in the future is making a plan for the poor. And I highlighted this through the I Was Hungry campaign. But the real highlight of the conference was that Chuck had also invited Gogo Chirodza to come down and meet the folks there and present at the conference. So she and Vesta, one of our precious trainers, traveled down to Durban. And it was an exciting adventure for them. And then as I finished my presentation, I was able to call them up to this main platform, and I was able to introduce them as being what we feel is the hope and future for Africa. And these two ladies got an incredible standing ovation for some minutes during the conference. And a lot of people came up to me afterwards and said they were really the highlight of the conference. I was so proud of them, and it was such a pleasure to be with them at this very special occasion.